Christine, how much does it hurt the WNBA when Caitlin Clark is out?
It is devastating to the WNBA when Caitlin Clark is out.
Now, I know a lot of us were expecting some sort of dip since Caitlin Clark has been out with injury, but I don't think all of us were expecting the entire viewership of the entire WNBA to be down. And this tweet from Christine Brennan really stuck out to me. She said, one player gets injured and more than half the TV audience for the entire league disappears. Has any other athlete ever had that kind of impact on a sport? Golf without Tiger definitely dropped precipitously on occasion. But
this is the tale of a league that keeps failing while its golden goose lies injured on the sidelines, and how their obstinate refusal to face reality is costing them millions of dollars every day. The WNBA is in a devastating financial freefall, watching helplessly as their entire empire collapses without Caitlin Clark on the court, and once again demonstrating that this league has learned absolutely nothing about protecting the one player who single-handedly dragged them from obscurity into the spotlight.
And the truth is the truth, and the data is there. And what we saw when Caitlin was out the last time, the 5 games that she missed earlier in the season, the WNBA's viewership dropped more than 50%. Not just the Fever, but the entire league.
The harsh reality of the WNBA's reliance on one player was made public when Clark was sidelined with a quad injury on May 24th. Now that she is out again with a groin injury, who knows when we will witness a recurrence of what happened? Facts have become as rare in this era of manufactured drama and social media controversy as sold-out WNBA games without Caitlin Clark.
Quad injury jumped to her groin likely because of compensation. But the thing that you have to be careful of is if, say, you try to rush her back from this injury as well, then you're getting into this territory where a very serious injury can happen. That is what the Indiana Fever, that is what Caitlin need to avoid the best that they possibly can. So if it means that Caitlin is out for 3 weeks, if it means that she is out all the way through All-Star, then so be it.
WNBA games involving the Indiana Fever saw a 53% decrease in viewership, from an average of 1.8181 million when Clark played to just 847,000 without her. However, this is where the story becomes completely absurd. And by absurd, we mean predictably disastrous for a league that doesn't want to learn from its own mistakes.
Clark went down. The WNBA ratings have dropped over 55% across the board.
Hey, guess what, guys?
The league is Caitlin Clark.
The league is Caitlin Clark. She is the WNBA, guys.
Sidelined with a left quad strain May 24th. National TV viewership has plunged since then 55%. Before the injury, the Fever, her team, were averaging 1.81 million viewers, almost 2 million. Since her injury, fewer than 850,000.
The WNBA did nothing to safeguard their most valuable asset, while Caitlin Clark was busy doing what she does best, filling arenas to capacity, shattering television ratings records, and making record-breaking money. It seems that when a player is solely in charge of 26.5% of all WNBA economic activity, the natural reaction is to allow opponents to target her with impunity while lecturing everyone about basketball plays.
News is alarming for the league, and it's alarming for the league because this is such a crucial year for the WNBA. At the end of this season, the WNBA will go into CBA negotiations. If negotiations go well, then every single player in the WNBA has a much better chance of making so much more in their next contract. And that's one thing when you start thinking about how many people stopped watching when Caitlin Clark got injured. A lot of people stopped watching because they are boycotting the WNBA. They don't want to give viewership to any other teams or any other players, whether they like other players on the team or not, because of how the media and the league itself has handled Caitlin Clark and how they have treated her fans.
What's especially intriguing, by which I mean extremely infuriating, is how this exact situation has happened before, but the league doesn't seem to be able to learn from its own past. This isn't the first time the WNBA has seen its revenue and ratings plummet when its biggest star is hurt. It's like watching someone touch a hot stove and get burned, then instantly reach for it again, while claiming they had no idea what would happen.
Now, what's really concerning about this is the fact that we are only a month into the regular season, and Caitlin Clark has already been out with 2 injuries, with the first one being her having to miss some time with a left quad strain. Now, of course, this is concerning because if you're already on your 2nd injury, you don't want to be that player that is always hurt. Cough, cough, Embiid, cough, cough, Anthony Davis. So I really do hope that the Fever really sits her out right now for a while, only because you don't want her to have more long-term injuries and be more prone to.
If you're having fun, please subscribe. The financial destruction has happened quickly and brutally, as Fever game ticket prices have fallen by 71%, with some going from $860 to $250. The Chicago Sky vs. Fever rematch, one of the most anticipated games of the season, saw ticket prices plummet from $210 to $95. The average ticket price across Clark's missed games dropped from $1,370 to $80, indicating a startling decline that speaks volumes about who actually drives interest in this league. Road games that had been moved to larger arenas, specifically to accommodate the demand for Clark tickets, are now having trouble filling venues that would have been packed with her presence. In the past, this contest attracted 2.25 million people, making it one of the most viewed WNBA games ever. However, without Clark, it would just be another game that casual fans would not care to watch.
Man, bruh. Congratulations to the WNBA. Your ratings are going to drop by 55 to 60% once again. I believe the WNBA have successfully broken Caitlin Clark.
One of the most outspoken critics of the WNBA's treatment of its star player, Christine Brennan, is a seasoned sports journalist whose next book, On Her Game, Caitlin Clark and the Revolution in Women's Sports, promises to reveal the league's shortcomings. The WNBA continues to fall short of expectations. Following yet another event in which opponents targeted Clark, Brennan tweeted, "People are watching like never before, and this is what they see." Brennan's complaint goes right to the core of the issue. The league knows that Clark alone attracts almost half of its TV viewers, yet they still let her to get cheap shots and harsh fouls that are only intended to frighten. Their main attraction is similar to witnessing a restaurant owner permit patrons to taunt the chef, whose food is the sole reason patrons come in.
As big a deal as Tiger was in men's golf, Keith, he did, and when he was gone, it affected the ratings, but nothing like that. And, Michael Jordan being out, maybe a 5 percentage points or something. Nothing like this. You can make a strong case, and I will make that case, and have that there is no one single athlete more important to his or her sport or tour or whatever the circuit is that they play on than Caitlin Clark is to the WNBA.